Hi guys, my name is Sophia Gutchinov and welcome to Latitude Talent Studios. We are here in January 2023. Happy New Year. If I haven't seen you since the new year, hello, welcome. Please make a comment. If you have any questions about today's webinar, please, I will answer them. Hello everyone. Hi. So our topic today is how to break into small markets as an actor or model. So I'm gonna just type that in here so you know, hello, hi. So you know exactly what topic we are covering. How to break into small markets. And what does this mean? If you don't know, that's okay, I'm gonna teach you. Hi, new model, what's up? As an actor and model. All right, post, there it is. I think I can pin the comment, 1 second. Pin, there we go. Okay, yes, Fashion Week, me too. Okay, great, so let's get started. Okay, so you can see me all okay? Okay, great. So, how to break into small markets as an actor or model. That's what we're gonna get started with today. So, there's many things we can talk about here depending on, if you're doing acting or you're doing modeling. There's many different ways to go about this, but honestly, I just wanna encourage everyone that this is all, individual based. It's a very subjective business, and everyone's journey is going to be very different from everyone else's. So 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. I just want to take a picture of something. There we go. Okay. So, who am I? I will tell you who I am so you have an idea. So you know who's teaching this webinar, etc., etc. So my name is Sophia Gutchinov, and I'm a working actor, model, artist type, creative person, all the things that we do in this industry. I currently have been really focused on, creating my own one-woman show that I'm creating right now. So that's exciting. I'm also a visual artist, so I have some stuff in a gallery right now, my 3rd gallery in the past 6 months, which is really exciting. A new piece that I created, and I'm honestly just working actor and model. I have a few shoots coming up. I had a shoot on Saturday for a commercial. I have a shoot this coming week, photo shoots, all the things. So I'm very busy, and I'm here to help you all learn about the business side of our industry. That's what these webinars are for, and that's what I do. So the topic is how to break into small markets as an actor or model, right? So with that said, you want to remember that you are your best advocate. And a lot of the things I say in the webinar are pretty standard. They're constant. They're not going to change, right? Like we're going to keep hearing them because they're really important. Take care of yourself. Remember, you're your best cheerleader, boss, person who's in charge of your business. Nobody's going to do the work for you in this industry, of course. I don't know what is going on with this thing. Who's this person? Hold on, we have a bad egg. I need to delete. Okay, there we go, done. So yeah, we are here to talk about the small market industry. So I don't know where you're all coming from, where you guys all live, but I'm in New York City, Latitude's in New York City. And if, for example, you're in a different market, like a small town in Wisconsin, or you are in LA or New Orleans or Atlanta or Savannah or Toronto or Paris or wherever else. I don't think Paris is a small market, but LA is also a small market. But okay, Detroit, yeah, if you guys can all let me know where you guys are coming from, what towns, that would be really helpful. Okay, Georgia, what town? That's a huge state. I don't know where that is. I need to know where. If I get an idea of the town, because it'll help me maybe help you out, because I want to talk about what's filming in certain places, all that kind of stuff. So I want you to remember that you're your best advocate, right? You want to remember that. Okay, North Carolina, that's a great one. Raleigh. So you want to look up, you want to start, Paris, I love it. Okay, Okay, Port Charleston, New York, Columbus, Georgia. Okay, great. These are all great places. Long Island. Okay, great. Look at that. Close. Brooklyn. Okay, there you go. Right here. Welcome. Atlantic City. Okay, great. So with that said, I want you to think about first with your market, right? Where you're living. What is being shot, like shooting, acting wise, modeling wise? Chicago, North Carolina, love it. New York, hello. What is being shot where you live? So for example, if you live in Austin, Texas, and there's a shoot that shoots, there's a show that shoots in Austin, Texas, I think it'd be a good idea for you to try to meet the casting director there so you could, be hired as a local person, because that would be really, 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 really helpful for you, right? So with that said, you want to remember that a lot of shows do move. They will switch locations, which is important to think about because, if you want to get on a show and it's shooting in LA this week, but then next week it's shooting in New York, how do you approach that? Maybe it's better to approach a show that's constantly shooting in New York and you live in New York because it'd be easier for you to get to the shoot, right? So, besides looking at what is being shot in these places, I also want you to look at what companies have studios, because studios are becoming more of a thing. In New York, we don't have as many studios as LA. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm waiting for the sneeze to come out. It still hasn't happened. Where is it? But for example, Netflix is currently building a new studio in New Jersey, actually where I grew up, funny enough, not far, in Monmouth County, at an old military base that's now being transformed into a Netflix studio, which is awesome. So that means that area of New Jersey is going to be way more popular, way more expensive probably, and it's going to see a boom in production, right? For example, Lionsgate, who makes a lot of films, they have just opened up, or I think it's really new, or maybe they're opening up soon, in Newark, New Jersey, which is northern New Jersey, really close to New York. Not New York, it's Newark. I know, crazy. Newark, right? So just remember that maybe that's a good place if you want to move there, right? Or you want to be close to these places if you want to live in a smaller market, okay? Another place would be Apple TV. Apple TV has a studio in Long Island, on Long Island. I never know if it's on or in. People say either one. So if you live in Long Island or on Long Island and you want to shoot something that maybe is on Apple TV, like maybe it's like Ted Lasso or something, I don't know, I'm just giving up examples, then you might want to get to know the cast director for that. I'm not saying that it's useful to literally go to the studio and be like, hi, I'm an actor, hire me. Because that's not how it works, and that's going to make you look very unprofessional. You don't want to ever look unprofessional as business. You want to, it is kind of annoying. You have to go through a lot of different people normally to get to where you want to be. Like, by the time you get on set, you have had to be seen by like 15 different people, which is insane, right? And you can't just like show up and be like, hey, hire me, I'm the one for the job. There's an audition process, there's a submission process, there's emails, there's fittings, there's screen tests, there's producer approval. There's so many things that you have no control over, and a lot of the things that are not personal, which is something to remember. So just think about who has studios where you live, what is shooting, what shows are shooting, that kind of stuff. Like, New Orleans has become very popular for shooting. Atlanta is very popular. If you're a black actor, Atlanta is a great market for you. Toronto has a lot of great shoots. The thing is, a lot of it has to do with taxes. So, for example, if there's a good tax incentive for a state or a production to shoot in a certain state, they're going to move. Like, I heard Albuquerque is pretty good. I've never been there. I don't really know much about it, but I heard that. So just remember that. And then think about the shows that you see yourself on. Like, what's your branding? What's your type, right? Hello everybody. So like, what's your branding? Like, are you the girl next door? Are you the quirky best friend? Are you the ingenue type of thing? Based on your identity, it's all a big different thing. Like, I mean, that's a good question about your identity. I'd say there's so many different shows that are really showing identity and representation now. Like, there was Blackish, Insecure, Fresh Off the Boat. There's so many different things now. So just like look up things, like try to watch things, which is something that I need to be better at, honestly, like watching things, because I'm so busy like reading scripts, auditioning, and working on my own stuff. But previews are good to watch, like trailers, that kind of stuff. Like seeing just like the vibe of the show, as I call it, the world of the show, you know, the essence type of thing. So like Gossip Girl has come back and they're shooting here in New York right now. SVU is always shooting in New York. Billions are shooting here. Godfather of Harlem obviously is shooting here. NCIS, Younger was shot here. SNL, which is its own game, but that is also, you know, shot here. Very important to think about. Yeah, so like all these different things are, you know, just important to have. Okay, hold on one second. Just gonna, there we go. So, yeah, and then Atlanta, like, as I said before, like Tyler Perry does a ton of shooting in Atlanta and Georgia. He did a whole thing during the pandemic where he did not shut down. I don't know how he pulled it off, but somehow he didn't shut down, which is really remarkable. And he created so many shows and episodes and things, and it's really amazing. So, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. The website was fake for Latitude. That must be a different website, because that's not true. Interesting. Don't understand what. I think you guys have the wrong website of Latitude. I'm not sure what's going on. But Latitude is a place where we help people who are actors and models break into the industry. We help them with mentorship. We help them with getting their photography in order, their portfolio. We can submit, and we also teach classes like here we are right now, you know. So yeah, with that said, that's the other thing. So Austin, all the things, all the different markets, right? So think about what is shooting in your area, what shows you see yourself on, and what studios have physical studios in your area, right? So these are all good things to think about. Okay, next up, that was like part one. Could be like a really long webinar. I'm not gonna make it too long, but like there's so much to go into with this one. So like there's so much we can talk about, but I'm trying to just cover the basics. Okay, one second. And thank you for joining us today, everyone here. I'm so happy to have you, okay? So then after you figure out like who's casting, where they're located, where it shoots, I want you to now think about agents, right? So after you know like what show you belong, like if you're perfect for, let's say, remember when Girls was on, that was shot here in New York, like if you're perfect for Girls, right? Or you know, Wednesday, the new, you know, Addams Family show, or as it was Euphoria was on, right? Or you know, Stranger Things, or all those kind of things. So like if you know that you're perfect for one of those roles, I want you to think about like, then I want you to look up who's casting these roles, right? So for example, like, okay, if I know that this cast director is casting this show, I'm gonna try my hardest to somehow get involved with this cast director, meet them, send them my headshot and resume, cold email, send them a physical copy of my headshot and resume, something like that. You want to get in contact with them, talk to their assistant, their casting associate, try to do like a meet and greet, or a monologue showcase, or do sides, just like a scene, you know, for them, and like a meet and greet type of thing. It is, I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of pay to play. Like you do have to like pay a certain amount of money, meet the person. You don't know if they're gonna cast you, but that's the industry. You can only do as much as you can. You can try your best and like just keep trying. That's what this industry is about. It's like a numbers thing, you know. The more you try, the more you'll see results. But hopefully you're doing the right things in order to see the results. If you're not seeing the results, then maybe there's time to change your process or your materials, right? Okay, I see there's some questions that aren't related. So if you have any questions that are related to breaking into the small industry, please put them in the chat. We have a question here about getting a modeling contract. The department head is asking for some favors. I don't know what that means. What are the favors? Please explain. Honestly, they should never ask for favors anyway. That sounds sketchy. I don't like that. Any other questions we have? Please hold. I'm looking. A little more about Latitude. Check out our website. Oh, I look like Katy Perry. Really? Okay, thanks. I never got that one before. No, not a fake website. Don't know who you are. I think you have the wrong website, but good luck. Pricing, you contact Latitude. Detroit, yes, they sell in there too. Yep, I think those are all my questions that I've gotten. Whoa, what did I just do? Oh my God, I just zoomed in. That was crazy. Hold on. I'm just making sure I covered everyone's comments. Yeah, if you join Latitude, these are all the questions. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So the next part is the agents, right? So you see yourself perfect for Wednesday, the show. You want to know who's casting, what actors are represented by which agencies on this show. So there's different resources. This can be kind of the Wild Wild West kind of vibe. You know, you really don't know where you're going to go, how you're going to figure out the information, whatever. But there's some resources that I'd like to share with you. So there's one that used to be around. I don't think it's still around. It's called Black Book, but it's basically been like transformed to being digital now. And Backstage.com, I'm sure you guys all know Backstage. It's a really big deal. I'm on a Backstage article, which is really exciting. It's this past year. So Backstage has some resources of who's, what agents are in your area, who's hiring, all that kind of stuff. So look onto Backstage's database. Also, there's another database that I've been a part of for years that I'm a huge fan of that's been so helpful, but just keeping up with the industry and knowing who's casting what. You have an option to like put tabs into like who you've met, create a contact list, track all your auditions if you're into that kind of stuff, like go-sees, modeling, all the stuff, right? And that's called Up to Date Theatrical. If you use my name, Sophia Gutchinov, which I'll put in the chat, and I'll tag myself after, you can, I think, get a free month or something. But it's really good, and it's called Up to Date Theatrical, and they originally started here in New York, but I believe they've transferred now to everywhere in the country with all the markets, which is great, especially for their topic, how to break into the small markets as an actor or model. So check them out. Backstage obviously is great. Okay, moving on. Any more questions, please put them in the chat. Love it. Hello. I'm sending everybody hearts. We love it. So, next, I want you to think about companies that might be in your area. Maybe they have headquarters there. Like, for example, Michael Kors has headquarters here downtown in Soho. Timberland is a huge New York thing. You know, I've shot commercials for multiple different brands that are all here in New York / New Jersey / upstate New York area. I don't know where their headquarters are, but they've shot here in New York, so like that's amazing, right? So for example, I've shot with Walmart, Minute Maid, Nathan's, Maybelline, all that kind of stuff, and that was all local to here. Not to say they don't shoot other places, it's just saying that I know that these places did shoot here, so that's good to know. But then you see about brands you like Nike, CoverGirl, Lancome, you know, Sephora, all those kind of things. Like, there's really not one way to know where a company is going to have their shoot, but there is a way to know that they have headquarters in your area. And this is something that I've never really thought about until last time I was in the webinar, but I don't know, I just feel like maybe you could try to contact the, like, you know, person in charge, assistant at the desk at Michael Kors, let's say, and you could be like, hey, I'm really interested in being a model for you guys. Who is the agency you use? When do you guys have auditions? And they may not know, and that's okay, at least you tried, but they might be able to be like, oh yeah, of course, let me give you the information of the person who's in charge of casting our models. Here you go, have a great day, thanks for coming in. You never know. You don't know until you try in this industry. So I would just say to just, you know, try and don't give up. It's a very hard, like, cutthroat industry, and I just want to say, if you're serious about getting into this, then you must be serious about getting into this, and I commend you and wish you the best of luck, obviously. But just remember, there's so many different ways to break into this industry. Like, there is the, like, I got discovered at a mall when I was like 10 thing, right? And then there's the, I went to college for this and I've just been auditioning since. And then there's the, I happened to be at the right place at the right time and they asked me to do this thing, and then everyone loved the role and I ended up opening up my whole career and I never thought I was gonna be an actor. You know, we never know who we're going to meet, what we're going to be doing, or what's going to happen in our life. So just remember, like, stay open to opportunity. Okay, we have a great question. Want to visit us at Latitude? Okay, come by. Email. What's the best way to try and start a career? Okay, well, that's kind of what our webinar is about right now. So just keep listening, you know? Great. Okay, so love that. Okay, next, very important to have your social media and portfolio in order. So what does this mean? Okay, so this means that, so our industry has changed a lot in like probably the past like 10, even 5 years, right? Where social media has taken over the world, really, which is not necessarily bad or a good thing. It just is. So with that said, a lot of times these castings, whether they're in New York or whether they're in wherever in the middle of nowhere in America, they might ask you for your Instagram handle or your TikTok handle or how many followers you have or your engagement rate or, you know, the percentage of followers that click on your things that you have following but who actually are actively following you, actively, not just passively, right? So like they're commenting, they're liking, they're DMing you, they're watching your stories, they're watching your reels, they're reposting, they're doing all the different things, right? And then we have passive people too, but those are still important to have because they still contribute something. And I don't know how the algorithm works, but they do, right? So with that said, I want us to remember that we have to build our social media up as best as we can. I'm not saying to buy followers. I don't think that's the answer because that's pretty fake and you can always tell when someone did. But I will say this. I think it is good to have an idea of the brand you want to create. So like, for example, for me and my brand, which I'll tag myself in later, it's like you might have more fun posting random things about your life and like your friends' birthdays and all that kind of stuff. And like, that's all great. Like you can still do that. It's your social media, it's your life, it's your brand. But I will say this, it does become a little more about business as you get older, as you get more advanced and more experience in this career, and it becomes less about fun, especially on social media, even though it's supposed to appear fun. So just remember, like, you want to be very like aware of what you're posting. Like, are you posting yourself partying every weekend? Or are you posting yourself like on set every weekend? You know, and like you can party and be on set every weekend. It doesn't matter to me or anyone really. What matters is your image and the image you're creating. And I can't stress this enough because like as we've all seen, cancel culture and with you know, Twitter and the idea of social media being at everyone's fingertips, it's very easy to change someone's image nowadays in our industry. Like, you know, someone writes the wrong thing or if they post the wrong photo, it really changes their whole career trajectory. So I want you to really be mindful of the brands you're following and what they support. Like, for example, if you're going to model for a company that's maybe more liberal or maybe more conservative. I'm just saying, I'm not saying I have an opinion, I'm just saying in general, more liberal or conservative, you want to remember like, okay, well, if I model for a company that's very like insanely political and not afraid to talk about their views, whether they're right or left, doesn't matter, or right or wrong, right? That's not my thing to say here. That may close off some doors for other companies that are more neutral. So maybe it's better to do more neutral companies, you know, like, I don't know, these are all your opinions and how you want to perceive yourself as a model actor in this world. But just remember, like, when you model or act for a company or a brand, you now, part of you represents that brand, right? So it kind of is a conflict of interest if you have a commercial for Pepsi. It is, it's actually not kind of. If you have a commercial for Pepsi and you're seen drinking a Coca-Cola on your Instagram, and like, yeah, maybe these are things you didn't think about, but you are signing contracts. Yeah, you are signing contracts. And in your contract, which you probably aren't reading, which you should, it literally will say like, you are held to our standard for this many years or indefinitely or whatever it is, right? Like for the next 3 years, you're not allowed to post pictures of you drinking Coca-Cola or a picture next to Coca-Cola because you're in a Pepsi commercial. It's going to run for 3 years. And if somebody sees you and recognizes the commercial and they're like, oh my God, that's the Pepsi girl, why is she drinking a Coca-Cola at this restaurant? It's going to be like, yo, does she not believe in the brand? Like, why is she in that commercial? Is she an actor? Like, does she not care about it? And yeah, obviously you're an actor. You were hired to be a model actor for Pepsi, but if you like Coke better, keep it to yourself and don't post about it, okay? Because sometimes that could cost you a job. Or let's say you're in the final running. This is crazy to say, and this sounds insane, but this industry can be insane. I'm just telling you from personal experience what I've seen, heard, and experienced sometimes. So, for example, if I booked a role for a CoverGirl mascara that shoots in a week, and I was at the store and I really liked this new mascara from Thrive Cosmetics. It's called Cause instead of Cox. They do a whole thing with like feminism and helping people, whatever, right? So, and I was like taking a picture and I was like, oh, I love this Thrive mascara. And then the casting director of CoverGirl happened to follow me and find me on Instagram and was like, hey, you're supposed to be on set on Monday. but I see you just posted a picture with Thrive, and oh my God, thank you, Babar. And I see that you're like posting a picture of you with a different brand that's a direct conflict of interest. I don't think that we can still cast you and have you come to set on Monday. And you could try to work with them and be like, oh my God, I'll delete the picture. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't thinking. Or they could be like, we don't want to hear the end of it. You've already ruined the branding image. You're done. And honestly, that is this industry. Like, they will not care. There's a million people who can replace you, which is like insane to think about. But I'm just going to be really honest. Like, you got to just be mindful of like what you're posting and who you're letting in as your audience. Like, just seeing the brands you follow. Like, if you follow a brand that's crazy political one way or the other, right? And you're just like, oh my God, this is too much. I don't want to follow them. It's too much for my feed. Then you can unfollow them, whatever. But maybe that brand, like, you follow them and you like comment on their posts and like you're obviously aware of their branding and like maybe you don't agree with it. But even if you don't agree with it, it's not easy to see that you don't agree with it on social media because it's just going to say you follow it. And what does it mean when you follow that person or that account? That means you support the brand, you support the mission, you follow them. You're literally saying, hey, I'm following you. I'm supporting your mission as a company, as a customer, as someone who follows you, whatever it is. So just be mindful of your social media, okay? I know that sounds crazy, but it's a fact. Because these companies who are going to hire you as an actor model, whether it's a small market or not a small market, literally they are going to they're going to like decide if they want to work with you sometimes based on your social media, which is crazy, but it's like a fact, you know? So it's like, you just want to be mindful of that. Oh my God, our numbers are great. Let me take a pic. We're doing so good. I hope everyone's learning. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. I will answer them and read them. Okay, so moving on, branding. Okay. You can do your own shoots, build your portfolio. You maybe don't have photography or like photographs, modeling, actor, whatever. It's okay. We have options, right? Not we as Latitude, we as our society. I mean, also here at Latitude. So you can do your own shoots. You can do trade for print. You can join some Facebook groups where people are photographers. And if you're looking to build their portfolio, if you're looking to get more experience, say, hey, I want to do a TFP, trade for print shoot. You're welcome. Okay. You can look up groups. You can join them, go for coffee first, meet them at a public place, bring a friend. You know, don't go to someone's place alone, their studio. You want to make sure you're supported. It's like a positive thing. You know, it's safe, all that kind of stuff, especially if you're a woman. Okay, iPhones are awesome. I don't have an Android. I really don't know much about Androids. All I know is that Android photography really comes out great as long as it stays on the Android, okay? If it is going to an iPhone or a website or whatever, there is a weird thing with Androids where they cannot compromise. They compromise the quality and they cannot transfer properly. So like even if you go on WhatsApp, even if you go through, they don't even have AirDrop, I don't know, whatever way, it still comes out blurry. They take the pictures automatically with filter. I hate Androids. If you have an Android, I hate them, okay? I'm also going to tell you something too about the industry. Sorry, hard truth. I have seen so many castings where they literally write, you can only apply for this if you have an iPhone. Yep. They do not want cameras that are Androids all the time. And on top of that, if it's for an app, a lot of apps have it easier to get on the App Store than it is to get on the Google Play Android store. So just remember that if an iPhone, you are at an advantage. And I understand iPhones are more expensive, but you know, this industry is a business and you invest in your business if you want to actually make money from it and see it come to fruition and have it make money for you and have it become your living / your passion / your life's work. So just remember, like, if you're serious, you should probably get an iPhone. Okay, mic drop, you're welcome. So with that said, remember you can take your own pictures. You can get like a pre-owned cheaper DSLR. Maybe you go to like a pre-owned like refurbished place. Maybe you go on Facebook, maybe you go on Craigslist. I don't know what you do, but you can do your own shoots. You don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to create a portfolio. You can, and you could probably get good results that way. But if you want to do it on your own, more DIY approach, you're more than welcome to do that, and that's not going to kill you. I already spoke about branding. I went really on a long speech about branding. It is so important. I don't even know how I could talk about it. Branding is so important. And last part is just make your own content. Like, if you want to build your portfolio, your reels, your performances, your your content in order to show this for your agents when you go into those markets after you find out who's casting in your area, what production companies are there, find out these things. Make sure you look like you've done your homework. Make sure you look like you're passionate, you actually care. Be yourself, of course, bring your best foot forward, all that kind of stuff. So you want to get a group together. Maybe you guys can make a web series, maybe you can make a short, maybe you can make like a spec commercial, whatever it is. Student films are great, especially if there's many colleges in small towns and all that kind of stuff. So you can get involved with the film department and students. You don't get paid for that, but you do get footage. It is a risk because, they're students. We don't know if they're going to be good, but some of them can be really good. And, they could be the next Steven Spielberg, and you could work with them as a student. So, that's really cool to think about. You never know, as I said before. Let's see what else I wrote. Yeah, okay, this is a great one that I thought of, too. I was like, oh, my God, I should do this. I'm telling you to do this, and I should do this. So let's say you live in a small market, small town, or a small city, right? And there's a local business, maybe it's woman owned, maybe it's minority owned, whatever, and they have really beautiful jewelry. And you're like, oh my God, I love your earrings. I'm in here all the time. I'm actually getting started in modeling. I would love to do a shoot with you. Let me know if you ever need a model for your jewelry. I would be happy to. And you don't say to them, I want free jewelry. You don't say to them, I need you to help me become a model. You say, hey, if you need this, I am here as your solution. Hey, I'm suggesting us work together and have a great partnership and collab. Okay, so you use these words that make it seem like it's an equal, mutually beneficial relationship because it should be and it is. You don't pose it as, I need this, you're my meal ticket, or I'm desperate, help me out, or help me understand this because you're just gonna willingly help me for free. No. This is adult business relationships and you need to meet yourself in the middle, meet them in the middle, and offer something. Always offer something. I can offer you my modeling. I can offer you my time. I can offer you a runway shoot. I can offer you telling my 5 friends about these earrings and giving them maybe a discount and bringing you business. Okay, I can offer you tagging you on social media when I have a good following, if I do, which I'm building now, right? When you're doing rebuilding is what I'm saying. Okay, love it. Yeah, so just go in. You can always DM them too, if they're an online company, maybe they make custom bikinis and you're in Miami and you're hey, I love these custom bikinis. I actually don't live in Miami, but if you want, I would love to model for you and post about it and maybe be in a runway show and then take pictures, put them on my portfolio and tag you and offer the website to my friends and discount, all the things I just said. So that could be a good way to get in. Just want to build your contacts. So this is an entrepreneur quote, but it's very important because the actors and models, you're your own business and you are an entrepreneur. Your network is your net worth. And that doesn't really sound the most positive, because if you look at it in one way, it's oh my God, my network is my net worth. What is my net worth? Is it negative? Is it in the red? Or you could be oh, okay, so my network is not really my net worth that I want right now, but that's not to say I can change it. That I can't change it. So you're gonna be okay, let me meet more contacts, let me go to events, let me bring business cards, let me smooze, let me make contacts, let me build my network. Right? And then you invite people out and you follow through and you have fun with them and you have relationships and positive friendships and all the kind of things you have in this industry, right? And then you build on that and you're hey, you're going to come see my fashion show, I'm going to come see your play. Or hey, I really want you to come to my summer party, I would love to come to your birthday party. You just make these partnerships and you tell people how important they are in your life and you invite them to things, but more importantly is you show up for them, especially when they show up for you. If they're really busy and they can't show up for you and you keep showing up because you really want to work with them and it's a dream come true, that's different. If you're more on the friendship level and collabing level, they should be showing up for you too. If it's not right now, it can be eventually, right? But anyway, so those are important things to think about. Have coffee, lunch dates. And just remember, it's all a risk, the risk-taking thing about this industry, but you don't know until you try and you have to be in it to win it. So that is my long webinar about how to break into small markets as an actor and model. I hope this was helpful. My name is Sophia Gutchinov, and I will post my name and put me on the story for Latitude so you know where to find me. If you want to follow me and my artistic journey, you can. If you have any questions, I don't know if I would suggest you sliding in my DMs. I spelled my name wrong. That's wrong. I gotta rewrite that. But I would suggest you contacting Latitude if you have questions about our webinars. I have a lot of these webinars. They're all on Latitude's YouTube channel and they're free, so you can check them out. They're great ways to learn. Okay? So thank you so much for being here with me. Really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day, and happy Friday, and happy booking, and here's to a great, positive, prosperous, beautiful 2023. Okay? Thank you guys. Bye.